my name. And you know what that means? You going up against somebody who got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
I told you can't trust these niggas. Now Puffy done killed Tupac, man.
Puffy's a sucker, man.
Puff said he's gonna walk up on 50 Cent and punch him in the face.
Yeah, he said, I'm just gonna punch him in the face.
Tell Curtis I ain't done yet. This chilling message appeared in 50 Cent's inbox just hours after Diddy beat his RICO charge, the most serious count that could have locked him away for life. The threat didn't come from one of Diddy's legal team. Sources say it came directly from Diddy himself using a burner account that had been silent for months until that very moment. The timing couldn't be more suspicious, landing right when 50 thought he'd finally see his longtime rival behind bars for good. The feud between these two hip-hop moguls has simmered for decades. But what's happening now goes far beyond typical industry beef. This isn't about music or business. It's about survival, secrets, and what some are calling one of the biggest cover-ups in entertainment history. While many celebrity feuds play out for publicity, insiders claim this conflict has deadly serious undertones that trace back to powerful figures operating in the shadows. 50 Cent has been relentlessly trolling Diddy for years, posting memes and making jokes about Diddy's sexuality and the infamous parties at his mansion. You know there ain't no seat on that bike, right? 50 wrote under one of Diddy's photos, implying something more sinister was happening. And when asked why he didn't hang out with Diddy, 50 bluntly stated,
I explained why I didn't hang out with him, right? Because it's a little fluffy stuff going on.
It's not your scene.
It's not my stuff.
These weren't just random jabs. They were calculated references to rumors that had circulated in industry circles for years, but that no one dared speak about publicly. The roots of this conflict run deeper than most fans realize. During a Breakfast Club interview years ago, 50 revealed what might have sparked the entire beef.
Now, Fifth, when you continuously call Puff gay, does that affect your relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay. I said.
Let me read it, Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. Dinner Thieves in theaters January 19th.
Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago. At Chris Lighty's wedding, he told me to take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of No, dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
And he'd been uncomfortable around Diddy ever since. That uncomfortable exchange at an industry wedding would plant the seeds for one of hip-hop's longest-running and most bitter feuds. While 50 played these comments off as mere trolling, industry insiders suggest he was intentionally poking at secrets many in the business knew, but feared discussing. In Hollywood's power circles, Diddy's parties were legendary, but not always for reasons that made the gossip columns. What started as personal dislike has now escalated into something potentially life-threatening. The real reason Diddy is targeting 50 now is because of 50's upcoming documentary titled Did He Do It? Despite Diddy beating his RICO charge, 50 is pushing forward with the project, promising to expose far more than what came out during the trial. And according to insiders, what 50 has uncovered is damning enough to destroy not just Diddy's legacy, but potentially implicate dozens of power players across entertainment, business, and possibly government. The documentary was initially planned to focus on Diddy's alleged sexual misconduct and wild parties. But as 50's team dug deeper, they reportedly uncovered a web of connections that suggested something far more sinister than celebrity excess. Production sources claim 50 has obtained testimony from former party attendees who witnessed behavior that goes beyond anything reported in the mainstream media, behavior that crosses into territory that could trigger new criminal investigations. The recent trial itself raised many red flags that 50's documentary aims to highlight. The government mysteriously replaced the original prosecutor, Damon Williams, with Maureen Comey, the same person allegedly involved in the Epstein case. Williams had been overseeing the case from the start, yet suddenly stepped down on November 25, 2024, just weeks after Diddy's arrest. The timing couldn't be more suspicious, and it's one of many parallels that 50's investigation has reportedly uncovered between Diddy's case and Jeffrey Epstein's. And then there's Christina Carorm, Diddy's right-hand woman who was named by multiple witnesses as a co-conspirator, but was completely ignored by federal prosecutors. Nobody knows where she disappeared to or why she wasn't called to testify, despite being referenced 64 times in a separate lawsuit against Diddy. One producer described her as the Ghislaine Maxwell to Diddy's Epstein, a comparison that becomes more chilling the deeper investigators dig. During the trial, Cassie testified that she talked to Christina Christina, known as KK, almost daily about everything from scheduling to discussing Diddy's mood and how to handle him. Another victim, referred to as Jane, showed text messages where Christina encouraged her to transport illegal substances on commercial flights, saying, "It's fine, I do it all the time." If Christina was truly Diddy's co-conspirator, as prosecutors initially claimed, why did they suddenly stop mentioning her? This makes absolutely no sense from a legal standpoint, unless something much bigger is being protected. Christina's role appears to have been crucial to Diddy's operation. According to testimony, she managed schedules, monitored victims, arranged transportation, and maintained Diddy's extensive network of connections. Diddy himself once posted a photo with her on Facebook, writing, "Christina aka KK keeps everything in my life and my business running. She's my right hand." Yet somehow, this central figure in the case simply vanished from the prosecution's strategy without explanation. Sources close to 50's documentary team say they're actively tracking Christina's whereabouts and background, hoping to fill in the gaps the prosecution deliberately left open. The stakes got even higher when former Diddy assistant Capricorn Clark testified that Diddy once planned to take out 50 Cent.
We started off this morning with Capricorn Clark. She's a former Diddy assistant, former marketing manager for Sean John. Oh, she talked about 50 Cent. So I don't know what year this was, but she said that Diddy was doing a press event with 50 Cent at MTV, and they actually shared the same manager at this point, and his name was Chris Lighty. And she said that Chris Lighty and herself and Diddy got into an elevator, and Diddy was having a problem with 50 Cent, and he said something like, you know, "I don't like the back and forth, I like guns." So that was a moment where we kind of heard about this feud between 50 Cent and Diddy.
It wasn't just trash talk, it was a direct threat witnessed by multiple people. At the time, 50 played it off, posting an AI image of himself looking scared with the caption, "Oh my goodness, itty bitty Diddy wants me dead. I have to lay low. I think I'm gonna hide out at the playoff game tonight, LOL." But sources close to 50 say he took the threat seriously enough to increase security around his home and businesses. He knew Diddy's connections ran deep and that money could make problems and people disappear. But that was before the verdict. At that point, everyone thought Diddy would get life in prison. Now, despite being found guilty on 2 counts of transportation for prostitution involving Cassie and another woman, Diddy's legal team is confident he won't serve significant time. His sentencing is set for October 3rd, but his lawyers are already preparing appeals. Many speculate he'll be back on the streets sooner than expected, especially given the surprising acquittal on the RICO charge that seemed like a slam dunk based on evidence presented. Judge Aaron Subramanian ruled that Diddy is too dangerous to be let out on bail, citing concerns about witness intimidation and flight risk. According to People magazine, the 2 counts Diddy was convicted of each carry a maximum sentence of 10 years, for a total potential sentence of 20 years. But legal experts point out that first-time offenders rarely receive maximum sentences. And Diddy's legal team has already signaled they plan to appeal both the conviction and whatever sentence is handed down. What's truly alarming is that 50's documentary is reportedly shifting focus in response to these developments. Originally planned as an expose of Diddy's wild behavior and freak-off parties, the project is now taking a darker turn. According to Variety, 50 described it as a complex narrative spanning decades, not just the headlines or clips seen so far. A leaked clip allegedly from the documentary shows what appears to be an Eyes Wide Shut style gathering at Diddy's mansion, complete with masks, deer antlers, and disturbing ritual imagery.
It will be exposed.
I mean, when I walk in, I definitely take pride in being the originator of the preparation of the sex. Little things that I personally like. A lot of ladies, they just, you know, so if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
P. Diddy be wanting the body, and you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is.
The sinister implications of these statements, especially the mention of locks, has caused widespread concern about what was really happening at these gatherings. But the most explosive element of 50's investigation might be the connection between Diddy and government agencies. Remember when Kanye called Diddy a Fed years ago? In a heated exchange, Kanye claimed Diddy did a deal and was working as an informant. "The reason why you got to come at me is because part of the deal for you to be able to do all that and get out of jail is that you promised that you're going to go pull my card," Kanye Kanye alleged. At the time, people dismissed it as another Kanye rant, but now that theory is gaining traction among serious investigators. If 50 Cent is digging into this for his documentary, it explains why he's receiving threats. This isn't just about exposing one man's crimes, it's about unraveling a system that may have facilitated those crimes for decades. It's about revealing how power, money, and influence can create an alternate justice system for those with the right connections and the right blackmail material. Despite followers warning him to be careful, 50 sent a clear message that he's not backing down, calling Diddy the gay Teflon Don and dismissing concerns with "get the f off my page talking about I'm supposed to be scared of him." But insiders worry that 50's trademark bravado might be putting him in genuine danger, especially if the documentary exposes connections to intelligence agencies or high-ranking officials. The real question isn't just whether 50 should be worried, it's how far these powerful interests will go to protect their secrets. The people he's potentially exposing don't just play dirty, they control the game. And as history has shown with similar cases, they don't forget, and they rarely forgive those who threaten to expose their secrets. Several whistleblowers and journalists who've investigated similar networks have reported intimidation, surveillance, and worse. The truth behind 50 and Diddy's feud goes far beyond rap beef or Instagram trolling. It's about power, corruption, and a system designed to protect certain individuals at all costs. As 50 digs deeper into the darkness surrounding Diddy's empire, he may be uncovering something far bigger than even he anticipated. A web of influence and blackmail that reaches into the highest corridors of power in America. And as the October 3rd sentencing date approaches, the question remains, will 50's documentary see the light of day before Diddy potentially walks free? Or will powerful forces ensure that certain secrets remain buried no matter the cost? One thing's certain, this story is far from over, and the most explosive revelations may be yet to come.